Hey, what's going on everybody, and welcome to the wonderful world of Paladins, where the people in casual have no idea what they're doing, and neither do the people in ranked. I fall somewhere in between those two categories. Hi, my name is Sploops, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to play Torvald, the man with the hand. If anyone calls him that, I'm not sure, but please, I'm not going to ask for likes on this video, I'm just going to ask for you to make me a trendsetter and start saying that. Alright, let's get into the video before I get too sidetracked here now. So, Torvald. Torvald's first ability is called Gauntlet. Pretty much he holds out his big stone hand and says stop to a single target in a very close radius. The nice thing about it is a lock-on and it does 500 damage per second. Unfortunately, you're not going to be able to have this up all the time because it does have a decent amount of reload, and you're going to want to be using your recharge ability, which I'll be talking about later, to keep your sustain up. So you won't always be attacking. You're just pretty much trying to stay alive because Torvald is a frontliner, and damage is not necessarily his role in this game. Now, Gauntlet is a direct damage ability, meaning perks can be bought to either help you or hurt you. Now, I'll be getting into that a little later after I'm done talking about the abilities. Recharge is Torvald's second ability, and it is arguably one of his best abilities that he has. It helps him sustain for a long time as a frontliner, and it actually helps get rid of the other frontliners as well, especially if they're dependent on shields, such as Fernando. So what it does is it regenerates an 850 shield per second for 2.5 seconds. And while this is nice, it helps him regenerate his health, or his shield, while on the point. The second part about it is what makes it so special. If you're going against a frontliner, normally they're going to have some sort of shield, unless there's going to be new updates with characters with a different way for frontliners, but at the moment, frontliners are dependent on shields, and Torvald is a good counter to that. So what Torvald does is he siphons shields from other frontliners, and he siphons at 2,000 shield per second. So if you're going against a Fernando, you can almost suck his full shield. This sounds a little weird. You can almost suck his full shield in one ability and give that whole shield to yourself, which is very nice and very efficient as a frontliner because you need that health. And that health will keep your team alive, and that health and team alive, not sure what I'm getting here, will help you win. I think that made sense. I am not sure. But Recharge is a great ability, and I think Torvald is awesome because of that. Okay, on to the next ability. Torvald's third ability is Runic Blast. It shoots out a short-range blast that silences and disarms enemies for 1.5 seconds. So when you're on the point, you can go up to the frontliners or the healers that are on the point, and you can disarm them, allowing an opportunity for you or your damage flank, whoever else is on your team, to take them out during that time. Now 1.5 seconds doesn't sound like a lot, but you can always get cards, loadouts, and I think the legendary card that I use adds another few seconds onto that, which is extremely helpful. It allows the frontliners not to damage you, not to heal up, and an easy pick-off for your team, which allows you to stay alive on the point and hopefully win the game, because that is the overall point of the game, unless you're a terrible person and you want to watch the world burn. Protection is Torvald's fourth ability, and this might be hard for new people playing him to get the full use out of it, because when you're on that point and everyone is shooting you and you're dying, it's hard to think about your teammates, but you have to realize that they're the ones taking out the people that are shooting you. And Protection, what it does is it projects a 2,000 health shield for an ally for 2 seconds. Now 2 seconds doesn't sound like much, but for your damages, your flanks, your healers, it pretty much doubles their health, and that gets rid of any damage incoming to them for those 2 seconds. So it's actually very helpful, and any person that you can keep alive on your team is definitely worth it. So while you're on that point, you can be shooting a far-range shield, because this is one of the abilities Torvald does have that has a big range other than his ult. But you can project the shield onto any ally pretty much in huge range, pretty much in your vision, I'm pretty sure. You might even be able to do it through walls, and you can save their life. That's why it's really good, and I like the ability a lot, although I still am trying to get used to it myself. Finally, the moment you've all been waiting for, Torvald's ult. Hyper Beam has an amazing range to it, but it can be very situational at times, at least if you want to get the full use out of it, but it is always helpful if used correctly. So, when I'm talking about situational, I'm talking about maps with with boundaries where you can fall off. Any open map, I think the map Turtle Island, if that's might not be the right name, but a map where enemies can fall off the edge, this is extremely helpful, and especially when it's close to the point. if you're on that point, you have your ult, and you can get a good lineup to the enemy team, especially when you are looking at them facing the horizon. I don't know. I will show, hopefully, a video clip on the screen of this because I can't really explain it, but you can ult them off the map. That's what I'm going for. I think I actually just did explain it with words. But if you can ult a full enemy team off the map, that is huge for your team. And it helps you capture the point almost 100% of the time. And if there is no backdrop, you can always just ult the enemy team off the point, helping you maybe get that overtime or just some capture points. And it'll also allow for your team to regroup onto that point. Now the only problem with this is, say you kill the full enemy team when you ult. You push them all off the map. They are all going to respawn at the same time, so they'll all be ready at the same time, so they'll push hard when they do come back. But other than that, it is extremely helpful, and it's a small price to pay for killing the whole enemy team, and it's pretty awesome. Now as for loadouts with Torvald, this can be a little tricky depending on what cards you have unlocked, so I won't go over this too much because this is a little more advanced with what's going on, but I'll go over it quick. So you got your 3 legendary cards in the top left. You got Direct Current, which is what I normally go with because normally there's 3 people on the point. There's 2 frontliners and a support depending on what support's being played. And if you can disable and silence all of them, it's extremely helpful for not only you but for your team to take them out. Next you got Field Study here. Normally I stray away from this. I don't think I've actually ever used that in a ranked game just because you have enough damage already. And finally Alternating Current, which increases your recharge duration, which is good if you need that extra health against the enemy team, or if there's maybe a Fernando or someone else who has heavy tanks such as Barrick or Barik. So that's pretty much that. Now let's go into the card loadouts here. So I don't know the exact specifics on this. I can't really tell you the best setup because there's so many setups out there. So what I did is I went with one of the top 100 people and I picked the one that I liked the best. So if you don't know how to do that, you just go to create a new loadout. And once you click on that, I'm pretty sure it gives you the top 100. You hit import, then you go search leaderboard. And let me scroll down quick and check here. Yep, okay, it is the top 100. So you can just go through these. I'd suggest going through maybe the top 10 and finding one you like the best. You do have to have the cards unlocked though to be able to import them. But if you don't have the cards, I would just go with the basic loadout or whatever you think would work best for you. Because this is really about personal preference and not necessarily there's like a set best thing. Alright, so you pick Torvald, you're in game now, you know a bit about him, you know his abilities, his skills, maybe his loadout, but you don't have any experience with him. So how do you play him actually? So the first thing you do is you're going to want to rush to that capture point as fast as you can. You're going to want to be on the objective the whole game. If you don't have the most objective points, then you messed up. Torvald is very good for staying on the objective. The sustainability he has is great. Of course, there are some downsides, and the only downside to Torvald is if you're the solo tank, if you don't have a healer, you're going to have a really hard time surviving, especially if you're going against a Ruckus or a team that knows how to build against you. Now, if a team is building against you, you're going to see them building Wrecker, so you're going to have to rely on your healers and supports for help, and hopefully you will have another frontliner with you, as I have Fernando here with me, and that helped keep me alive during this game here. So really, you just got to soak up the damage so your damage can deal it out to them and kill them, and you should be fine. Just keep that up, knowing that you need to stay alive so your team stays alive, and you'll have the right mentality for Torvald. And really, that's about it. I know I haven't talked too much about the in-game experience and how to actually play him, but I think you guys now know enough about Torvald to learn how to do it yourself. Now, Torvald took me a few games to get used to, but I really like this champion, and I think you guys will too. And all I can say is I wish you guys the best of luck. If you have any questions about Torvald or anything about the game in general, feel free to leave it down in the comment section. Let me know what you guys want to see, if you want to see more of this, if I left some stuff out that you'd like to know for the next guide, or even if you want me to remake this guide. I am open to any suggestions. I think constructive criticism is the most helpful thing in the world. But thank you guys for watching, and I hoped I helped you out in any way possible. Thanks again, and hopefully I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.